Welcome back. So now that we have our gateways deployed, we can go ahead and begin the actual creation of the VPN connection between our simulated on-prem environment and our VNet AZ2 network. To do this, we're going to create what's called a VPN connection resource. We're going to do it on the Azure side of the house and the on-prem side of the house. We're essentially creating two one-way connections. So to create our VPN connection, we can click Create a Resource, and we can search for Connection. When we select Connection from the list, again, we have a single software plan, and we can click Create. Now, before we do this, let's bounce back to Connection. And we can see here that a VPN connection is used to connect to, in this case, Azure virtual networks. Now, you can also use it to connect a virtual network and a local on-prem physical network, or you can use ExpressRoute, which we touched on earlier. The significance of a VPN outside of just the connectivity is the fact that the traffic between the two networks over the VPN is encrypted. So it's a secure connection between the two networks. So let's go back and create it. Now, when we create our connection here, we're prompted to complete 3 steps. The first step is going to ask us for some basic information, including the connection type we want to use. If we select the drop-down, we see we have 3 options: VNet to VNet, site to site, or ExpressRoute. Now, technically, in our environment, since it's a lab, we've got our simulated on-prem actually configured in Azure. So technically speaking, we should be creating a VNet to VNet connection type because we're connecting our AZ2 VNet to our on-prem VNet. But what I want to do is demonstrate the site-to-site option, which is what you would typically see when you connect an on-prem environment to Azure. So let's select site-to-site here. Again, we deploy to our pay-as-you-go and into our Az103 exam resource group. We'll deploy into the central US location and click OK. Now in step 2, we have to select the endpoints for our VPN. We need to tell our VPN what are we connecting. So let's go ahead and choose a virtual network gateway here. We'll select our AZ2 gateway. And then we need to select a local network gateway. The local network gateway would be the local GW on-prem. So we're connecting our Azure network to our on-prem network. And then it gives it a name here, which you can change. I'll just leave this alone. To configure the VPN connection, we have to specify a shared key, or PSK. Now what this is a mixture of letters and numbers that is used to establish encryption for this VPN connection. What we need to do is provide the same shared key on both the on-prem environment and on the Azure side of things. So what we'll do is we'll create a shared key here. And again, we're not using enable BGP, so we'll leave it alone. And I'm going to copy this because we'll need this later. And then we'll click OK. And at this point, we can view the summary of our selections and then click OK to begin the deployment of the VPN connection on the Azure side of things. And we'll pin this to the dashboard. So we can see here our one-way connection is now showing connecting. And this is because we haven't configured the connection in the on-prem environment yet. If we click on our new connection here, we can see the virtual network gateway, which is the Azure side of the house, and the local gateway, which is the public IP for the simulated on-prem environment. Now what we're going to do is create another resource here, and again, this is going to be another connection. And this time we're going to create things going back the other way. So we'll select a site-to-site, put it in our pay-as-you-go, same as before, same resource group, same location. And this time, what we're going to do is select the on-prem virtual network gateway and the local gateway for our Azure network. You'll see here it creates a name, and we'll use the same key that we used previously, and then click OK. We can review our selections, making sure that the key is the same, and then we can click OK. Now what this will do is configure the VPN connection on the simulated on-prem environment and connect it back to our Azure network. And we'll pin him to the dashboard. And if we scroll over here, we can see our new connection. Now it's still sitting in an unknown state. We'll give this a few minutes to connect. Now you can see after a few moments, our connection goes to connected. And we can see the status of our VPN connection now is connected. If we scroll over here, we can see the connection going the other way is connected as well. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to edit my dashboard here since things are getting a little bit unruly. And let's take this guy and move him over. So there we go. So now we have our VPN connection up and running. I'll see you over in the next lesson where we'll summarize what we've done over the last few lessons so you have a good understanding of the exact process from a high-level overview.